Very good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha TV this Monday morning. I'm Ashwarya with you, and these are Breakfast News headlines. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu urges the Supreme Court benches to take judiciary closer to people. Calls for revisiting 10th schedule of Constitution to expedite defection cases. Addresses gathering at release of book chronicling his 2 years in office as Vice President. Says abrogation of Article 370, need of the hour. Home Minister Amit Shah releases book on Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu titled Listening, Learning and Leading. The book chronicles Vice President's public and diplomatic engagements. Venkaiah Naidu's life is a lesson for younger generation, says Amit Shah. Elaborate arrangements in place for Eid-ul-Azha celebrations in Jammu and Kashmir. Banks, ATMs and markets remains open on Sunday. Situation in Valley peaceful. Restrictions eased in parts of Jammu and Kashmir. CRPF opens new helpline number. 169 dead in flood and rain-related incidents in South and West India. Rescue and relief operations in full swing. Home Minister conducts aerial survey of flood-affected areas of Karnataka and Maharashtra. Flood-related losses in Karnataka, 10,000 crore rupees, says Chief Minister Yediyurappa. Urges Centre to release 3,000 crore rupees as immediate aid. And India beat West Indies by 59 runs via Duckworth-Lewis method. Virat Kohli, Bhuvneshwar Kumar helped India take 1-0 lead in the 3-match series. Third ODI will be played in Port of Spain on 14th of August. Home Minister Amit Shah on Sunday released a book titled Listening, Learning and Leading, chronicling the 2 years in office by Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu in Chennai. Since assuming the office of Vice President of India and Chairman of Rajya Sabha on 11th of August 2017, M. Venkaiah Naidu has embarked on a mission of extensive engagement with the stakeholders in major sectors that took him to the states and union territories during the last 2 years. Home Minister Amit Shah noted that Vice President Naidu's life from student days to the post of Vice President was a good lesson for everyone to learn. Recalling his stints as a Union Minister, Home Minister said that Vice President Naidu was instrumental in implementing various welfare measures.
Listening, learning and leading ये टाइटल एक पुस्तक का टाइटल नहीं है जो वेंकैया जी के 2 साल के उपराष्ट्रपति के कार्यकाल का डॉक्यूमेंटेशन है. लिसनिंग, लर्निंग एंड लीडिंग ये टाइटल श्री वेंकैया नायडू के जीवन का एक व्याख्या करता हुआ टाइटल है कि जीवन में सुनना, सीखना और समाज का नेतृत्व करना ये कैसे कर सकते हैं, इसका एक आदर्श श्री वेंकैया नायडू ने इस देश की युवा पीढ़ी के सामने रखा है.
And Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar hailed Chairman Naidu's acumen for enhancing the effectiveness and efficacy of the Rajya Sabha.
Today is a wonderful book published by Publication Division of Information and Broadcasting Ministry, Listening, Learning, Leading. I am very sure that the title must have been given by Vice President himself. Listening, learning, leading, it's not a photobiography. It is the collection of his engagement with various sectors in last 2 years as Vice President, foreign as well as national, as well as in the House. So all aspects of his activities are covered. And I must compliment my team in Publication Division also. They have brought out a very good book which we will cherish.
The 257-page chronicle with the 232 photograph illustrations gives an account of the 330 major public engagements. Of the 7 chapters of the publication, the one on Rajya Sabha refers to the turnaround during the just concluded 249th session and the efforts made during the last 2 years for effective functioning of the upper house and improving the efficiency of the secretariat as well.
Listening, learning and leading. The book chronicles the journey of Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu in office for last 2 years. From 330 major public engagements as Vice President of India to presiding over 123 sittings of the Rajya Sabha as Chairman of the Upper House. It also highlights his role as an important catalyst in the process of transforming India. Reporting from Chennai with camera person Saroj, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
And Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu on Sunday gave a clarion call to ponder over the current situation of the 3 state organs in India, the legislature, the executive and the judiciary. He highlighted the need to further strengthen these pillars to ensure that the fruits of democratic governance reach everyone. He also hoped that all political parties will adopt a code of conduct for their legislators and contribute to policy making through informed decisions.
At the launch of his book, A Chronicle of 2 Years in Office, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said that legislators must be well-informed, well-intentioned and capable of articulating a viewpoint instead of being eager to rush to the well of the House. He said that legislators must realize the dreams of constitution makers through enlightened debates and forward-looking legislations.
I think it's high time that more benches are created to reduce the huge dependency and experiment. Third one is that it is heartening that the government have enhanced the number of judges in the Supreme Court by 10%, but I'm afraid it will still be inadequate. A number of civil and criminal cases have been pending over 25 years.
Vice President also said that the procedure for appointment of judges may be revisited and a credible, transparent process must be instituted.
So I have been urging parliamentarians to refrain from such a dysfunctional behavior. I have constantly reminded them of their duty and a unique opportunity to shape public discourse. I hope that all political parties will adopt a code of conduct for their legislators and contribute to policy making through informed discussions. Make their MPs, MLAs, public representatives behave in an ideal manner. This is my recommendation to the people and political parties across the country.
Vice President noted that media should be a dispassionate watchdog, a honest messenger, a friendly advisor and a wholesome entertainer. He stressed that media should be the catalyst of positive change and be the voice of the voiceless.
A free and vibrant media keeps democracy alive and can enrich the quality of life of people through information, education, entertainment and insightful analysis. The technological advancement in recent years have brought unprecedented change in the media landscape. Social media, along with traditional press and TV, are having a profound influence on our lives and lifestyles, on our work and relationship. Like everything else in life, this transformation has the good, bad and the ugly. You are seeing what is happening in the electronic media in some instances, what is happening in print media in some instances, what is happening in the social media also. Information is very important in this advancement of the civilization and development. Information with confirmation is more than an ammunition.
Vice President observed that making laws was only a part of the story and implementing them was a more crucial aspect of governance. He said that designing programs, funding them, monitoring their implementation and evaluating their outcomes is the crux of good governance.
In his speech, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu made an important observation, saying that there should be no gap between policy intent and policy implementation, and that benefits of any program or scheme must reach people within time to ensure rapid growth and development of India. Reporting from Chennai, with camera person Saroj, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
And Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu also said on Sunday that the abrogation of Article 370 was the need of the hour and was in the interest of the nation for safety and security. Home Minister Amit Shah asserted that the removal of special status to Jammu and Kashmir will lead to the end of terrorism and will lead to progress of the region.
At the launch of his book, a chronicle of his 2 years in office, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said that scrapping of special status under Article 370 to Jammu and Kashmir should be seen from the national perspective and people of the country must stand with their counterparts in Jammu and Kashmir.
370 abrogation is in the interest of the nation, for its future, for its security, for its safety. I can say, as the Vice President, with considerable experience in public life, is not big, now that the Parliament has voted it also. We should all think in terms of national interest rather than party interest. National interest. 370 should not be treated as a political issue. It should be treated as a national issue, that Kashmir is an integral part of India. Whatever problems are there, we should all stand by the people of Kashmir and assuage their feelings and see to it that steps are taken for restoring normalcy and for implementing developmental and welfare agenda at the earliest. I thought I should share some of these thoughts with you.
Home Minister Amit Shah said he firmly believed Article 370 should have been removed long ago.
मेरे मन में जरा भी कंफ्यूजन नहीं था कि धारा 370 हटानी चाहिए या नहीं हटानी चाहिए। मैं फर्मली मानता हूं कि धारा 370 से देश का भला नहीं हुआ, कश्मीर का भला नहीं हुआ, बहुत पहले हटनी चाहिए थी। एज अ होम मिनिस्टर मेरे मन में जरा भी कंफ्यूजन नहीं था कि धारा 370 के बाद क्या होगा। मैं निश्चित रूप से मानता हूं कि धारा 370 हटने के बाद कश्मीर के अंदर आतंकवाद की समाप्ति होगी और कश्मीर विकास के रास्ते पे आगे बढ़ जाएगा।
Actor politician Rajnikant also came out in support of the government's move to repeal Article 370.
You will always think about people, poor people in this country, man.
The Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Bill 2019 and a resolution revoking Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir were passed by Parliament last week. President Ram Nath Kovind also signed off on the official gazette that enforced the changes from 6th of August.
Eminent personalities present on the occasion hailed the abrogation of Article 370 and asserted that democracy has been established in true sense and that terrorism will now make way for development. Reporting from Chennai, with cameraperson Saroj, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
And a photo exhibition was organized in Chennai to showcase the 2 years of energetic and extensive engagement of Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu. Take a look at the myriad shades of his engagements.
The photo exhibition focuses on public engagements of Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu, including visits to scientific and technological institutions, award presentations, and interaction with student groups and farmers.
This is very interesting. It's a chance for a human being to understand a giant person. And he was, seems to be the backbone of the past days. The two, what a tremendous person, I can say that. A person is able to do some work for the past 2 years and he is interested to show to the people. That's a great thing. And I'm able to see how small, slowly he has started and has come up in so many, this level.
A picture is worth 1,000 words. These pictures have given an artistic statement and provided insight into Vice President's engagements and have transcended the limitations and boundaries of the linguistics of a written or spoken language.
The photo exhibition organized here in Chennai beautifully showcases the journey of Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu in office for last 2 years with focus on his mission of women empowerment, progress of youth and farmers, and also promotion of Indian culture. Reporting from Chennai, with cameraperson Saroj, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
Several Rajya Sabha MPs also attended the book launch event and praised the Vice President's administration. Let's take a listen.
Like our headmaster, a principal, so he gives us good advice. Most of the time we used to love his witty comments and also the quick responses with the greatest style of his, and we admired his administration as well as the way he conducts the house. It is tremendous. We all love him so much, and the 2 years was very productive.
More knowledgeable vice president, and the house is benefited by his approach, the way he deals things. Whenever we meet him in his chamber, he is very kind. He is one of our nice vice president, nice chairman.
And we'll take a very short break here. We'll be right back with more news.
What are some key legislations introduced in Rajya Sabha? Some of the key legislations introduced in Rajya Sabha are the Hindu Marriage and Divorce Bill 1952, the Hindu Succession Bill 1954, the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Bill 1969.
Welcome back after the break. News from Jammu and Kashmir, where the state government has made elaborate arrangements to help people celebrate the festival of Eid-ul-Azha in the state today. The banks, ATMs and markets remained open yesterday in Kashmir and restrictions were eased, allowing people to come out to shop. People have been allowed to visit neighborhood mosques to offer their prayers during the Eid-ul-Azha today. Normalcy is fast returning in most of the Jammu region, where restrictions under Section CRPC's 144 have been completely lifted in 5 districts. In the other 5 districts, restrictions have been relaxed to facilitate the Eid celebrations. Magistrates have been deployed at every critical place to act as facilitators for the convenience of the general public. Meanwhile, a Srinagar-based CRPF helpline on Sunday notified a new number for people, especially Kashmiris, who require help for their families or are in distress in Jammu and Kashmir. The helpline number has been posted, that is 9469793260 for assistance or updates. And Indian Railways announced the cancellation of Samjhauta Express, a train, days after Pakistan suspended services on its side. On to some other news now. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar arrived in Beijing on Sunday on a 3-day visit to hold talks with his Chinese counterpart. S. Jaishankar will co-chair the second meeting of the India-China High-Level Mechanism on Cultural and People-to-People exchanges today in Beijing with Wang Yi. S. Jaishankar will also exchange views with the Foreign Minister of China on the entire gamut of bilateral relations, including the upcoming high-level visits later this year, as well as the regional and global issues of mutual interest. And now an update on the flood situation in these various states of our country. Relief and rescue operations have intensified in flood-affected areas of Maharashtra, Kerala, Gujarat and Karnataka, even as 169 people have lost their lives in flood and rain-related incidents in South and West India. The Ballari District Administration in Karnataka has asked people living along the river banks to move to safer places, as all the 33 gates of the dam were opened in the wake of incessant rains. Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa said that the preliminary estimate of flood-related losses in the state was 10,000 crore rupees, and he urged the centre to release 3,000 crore rupees as immediate aid. Meanwhile, Union Home Minister Amit Shah undertook an aerial survey of the flood-affected areas of Maharashtra and Karnataka.
flood situation in Karnataka and is completely satisfied. First, we requested about 10,000 crores loss, approximately, that may reach even 25,000 crores. Now we are requested for 3,000 crores immediate help for the Karnataka, and they are given the representation also.
Meanwhile, in the state of Maharashtra, around 35 people were killed in rain-related incidents in 5 districts of the western parts of the state in a week, including 17 who drowned after a boat capsized near Brahmanal village in Sangli on Thursday. 4 lakh people have so far been moved to safety from the flood-affected areas of Maharashtra. Meanwhile, 761 villages in 69 tehsils are affected by the deluge. And in Kerala, over 2.51 lakh people have taken shelters in relief camps. The toll in the flood fury has gone up to 72, while 58 people are still missing. And the IMD has issued a red alert for Kannur, Kasargod and Wayanad in view of a heavy rain forecast. The Army, Navy, as well as the NDRF, Coast Guard, police forces, volunteers and fishermen are involved in rescue operation in various places. And the festival of sacrifice, Eid-ul-Azha, is being celebrated with religious fervor and gaiety across the country today. The faithful are offering Eid prayers in various mosques in Delhi and other parts of the country as well. In Delhi, Eid congregations will be held at Jama Masjid, Fatehpuri Mosque and Shahi Eidgah. And President Ramnath Kovind has greeted the people on the occasion. In his message, President Kovind said that Eid symbolizes love, fraternity and service to humanity. Vice President Naidu said that the festival is an ode to the virtues of devotion, faith and sacrifice and inspires feelings of brotherhood, compassion and unity. Vice President Naidu hoped that the festivities will strengthen the spirit of generosity and bring people closer to one another. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also greeted the people on the occasion of Eid-ul-Azha. In a tweet, Prime Minister Modi expressed hope that the festival will further the spirit of peace and happiness in our society. Vice President Venkaiah Naidu today remembered eminent scientist and father of Indian space program Vikram Sarabhai on his 100th birth anniversary. In a Twitter message, he said that Vikram Sarabhai pioneered India's scientific quest for improving the lives of people. The Vice President added that Sarabhai founded the ISRO and several important scientific institutions in India, and the nation will always remember his contributions to the advancement of science in our country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will feature in a special episode of the iconic survival television series Man vs. Wild on Discovery Channel tonight. The show will broadcast at 9 p.m. It will be hosted by renowned adventurer Bear Grylls and shot in Jim Corbett National Park. The show will create awareness about environmental changes and wildlife conservation. The episode will be telecast in over 180 countries across the world on the Discovery network of channels. Cricket news now. India beat West Indies by 59 runs via Duckworth-Lewis method in the second ODI at the Port of Spain in Trinidad on Sunday. By virtue of the win, India took a 1-0 lead in the 3-match series. The first ODI between the two sides was washed out. India rode on Virat Kohli's 120 of 125 balls and Shreyas Iyer's 71 to post a challenging 279 for 7 after opting to bat first. West Indies were then set a revised target of 270 runs to chase off 46 overs under the Duckworth-Lewis method. In pursuit, the West Indies were bundled out for 210 in 42 overs. The third ODI will now be played in Port of Spain on 14th of August. With that, we wrap up this edition of Breakfast News. Thanks for watching.